Ashes don't mean the end, they mean something had to burn. Welcome to Ash the Phoenix. I'm Queen Anne, the Transformer, and this is Truth Be Told, where we stop running and start looking in the mirror, where accountability becomes power and healing becomes transformation. This is your reminder you are not stuck, you are becoming. There is a voice within you, not the one you use to speak to people, but the one that speaks to you. Quiet, subtle, but always there. And the truth is, that voice has been guiding you your entire life, telling you what feels right, what doesn't sit right, what to move toward, and what to walk away from. But somewhere along the way, you stopped trusting it. You started questioning it, second guessing it, doubting it, and slowly you replace your voice with everyone else's. Now you're asking people for answers that you already feel within yourself, looking for confirmation for something that never needed validation in the first place. And this is where people lose their power. Because when you stop believing in your own voice, you become easier to influence, easier to control, easier to lead in directions that were never meant for you. Not always intentionally, but energetically, because everything carries energy. Everything carries a vibration. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the beliefs you hold about yourself, they all create a frequency. And that frequency is what you live in. So if your inner voice is filled with doubt, fear, uncertainty, you start to move like that. You hesitate, you overthink, you shrink yourself. And then you look at your life and wonder why things feel off. But when you start trusting your voice, when you start believing what you feel, when you start acting in alignment, everything shifts. Because now you're not moving from confusion, you're moving from clarity. And clarity carries a different energy, a different presence, a different vibration. And people can feel that. You can feel that. There's a difference between someone who is unsure of themselves and someone who is grounded in who they are. One moves with hesitation, the other moves with intention. One seeks approval, the other moves with self-trust. And this is not about being perfect. This is about being aligned. Because when you don't believe in yourself, something else will take that place. Other people's opinions, other people's expectations, other people's fears. And now you're living a life that doesn't even belong to you. So let's talk about belief. Because belief is not just something you say, it's something you practice. It's something you build. Every time you listen to yourself and act on it, you strengthen that voice. Every time you ignore yourself, you weaken it. And over time, you either become someone who trusts themselves or someone who doesn't. So how do you build it? You start small. You start with the moments where you feel something and instead of questioning it, you honor it. You move on it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it doesn't make sense to others, even when you don't have full proof. Because your life was never meant to be lived based on someone else's understanding. And yes, you're going to get it wrong sometimes. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. But even in that, you're learning yourself. You're refining your voice. You're strengthening your intuition because your voice doesn't get stronger by being ignored. It gets stronger by being used. And let's go deeper because when you start believing in yourself, you start to see yourself differently. You start to speak to yourself differently. You start to treat yourself differently. And that changes your energy. That changes your vibration. You're no longer operating from lack. You're operating from awareness, from worth, from knowing. I am capable. I am guided. I am enough. And when you move like that, you don't chase everything. You don't attach yourself to everything. You don't lose yourself in everything because you know what's for you will align with you, and what's not will fall away. So now you're not just speaking, you're speaking with intention. You're not just living, you're living in alignment. And that is the power of your voice. Not the one you use to talk, but the one you choose to believe. Because truth be told, it's been you all along. It's all about you.